Why is this called Trump? I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. Welcome to MML. I'm Trapper Jack. And is this some kind of Trump bashing segment? No. Some supporting Trump kind of thing? No. Something much more interesting. A few weeks back, I went into Poor Clare's, the chapel. This is where the cloistered nuns live. And I sat down in my pew before the Blessed Sacrament, Jesus, during Eucharistic adoration, and I began to pray, and a song began to play in my head. For those who know me, that's not uncommon. This has been going on for quite a while. Songs bubble up seemingly out of nowhere, but we know where that nowhere is, and we spiritualize the lyrics, and it takes us places, topics, and things like that. That was the case this time, too. So I have this song, I'm not crazy, I'm just a little unwell. But then I get this hit, because I'm wondering, well, what's this about? Who's this about? And I get Trump. Trump? Interesting. I don't remember the words. I don't even remember at that time it was done by Matchbox 20. I just know the tune. So I went home that day and I looked at the lyrics and I thought, interesting. What do I do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? A couple of weeks pass. I go back into that same chapel, sitting there, Blessed Sacrament, praying. Here comes the song again. Only this time I get, in addition, Ed. Ed. I know who that is. It's Ed Esposito, good friend of mine, longtime friend. Worked on the radio together. Well-respected journalist. He has a special way of looking at news stories from all angles. He just has a special knack. You know, it feels like a lot of news guys, either from the right or the left. He just is able to look at it, I think, in a more universal way. Everyone's side, if you will, has his own opinions, of course, but just has a cool way of looking at the news. And he was for a while there. He was chairman of this national organization, this RTDN news organization. He was chairman of this national news organization. Anyway, very well respected. So I thought, since I heard Ed, Holy Spirit moment, I thought we'd bring in Ed Esposito to today's MML Men's Morning Light. How you doing, Edward?
Hi, Trap. Doing great. Thank you.
Excellent. And Ed, this is a good day for Ed. Shot a good golf game, so we got him happy. We got him happy. So, you know how I am with the music thing and everything. And I just thought, okay, I just sent you the lyrics. I told you what happened. You take a look at it. Give me your side of this thing. I'll give you my side of what seems like to me. And we'll just kind of go through this song. What is the Holy Spirit up to? Because I think he's up to something. And we'll just go through it and see. Okay. You have any thoughts?
I don't disagree about the power of music here. So let's let her rip.
Okay. So go ahead. My wife is going to flip some of the words up there on the screen so everybody can see. Unless you're listening, and then you're going to hear the lovely tones of Ed Esposito read the lyrics to you. I'm the blind guy. I'd love to read it to you. Just can't quite make it out. So go ahead, Edward, and what does I'm Not Crazy, I'm Just a Little Unwell by Matchbox 20 say?
Sure. So let's start with all day staring at the ceiling, making friends with shadows on my wall, all night hearing voices telling me that I should get some sleep. Because tomorrow might be good for something. Hold on, feeling like I'm heading for a breakdown and I don't know why. But I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell, I know. Right now you can't tell, but stay a while and maybe then you'll see a different side of me.
Interesting. Okay, let's kind of take this apart here. And by the way, Matchbox 20 was asked, what's this song about? Basically, they said, we're all crazy. A little bit. Not crazy, but we're all have everything that crosses through our mind told to everyone. Ed, would you like to have everyone hear what you are thinking at any given time?
No.
Thank you. Nobody would, because we're all a little off, right? We're all a little off. So, okay, so he's making friends with shadows on the wall, whatever. Hearing voices, go to sleep. There may be something, a breakdown. I'm feeling like there may be a breakdown, but I'm not crazy. I'm just a little unwell. And then he goes on to say, but stay. This is the interesting part of this part. Stay a while, and you'll see a different side of me. Now, when I heard that, a different side of me. Okay, what a new improved Trump. He's reinventing himself. What's he going to be this time? Is he going to change his personality? What could possibly change? And I thought, because for you watching or listening to this right now, you have an opinion about Trump. You have a definite opinion about Trump. You are either the best thing he could do, a different side of him would be just to leave the planet. Or maybe you're on the other side. You don't have to change a thing, Donald. Or maybe you're in the middle with, the 4 years were fine if you'd have just shut up. What happened, the economy was okay. This was all right. Supreme Court, I agree. But maybe you just think if the guy had just shut up and quit shooting himself in the foot. So when you, Ed, news guy, when you see a different side of me, what's the side of Trump that we didn't see during those 4 years?
I think it's a reflective, sensitive guy who has respect for people. Wouldn't you agree?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. I know I heard stories along the way that he seemed to want to squelch for reasons known only to himself. So if someone fixes him, gets a flat tire on the side of the road. Guy comes up, fixes it, and he pays for his house, the rest of whatever the mortgage was. And he did not want that kind of story told. I don't
Lot,
know that that's who he is, but
lot of
there are
stories,
stories like that.
lot of stories like that. You talk with people who are close to him, some people who've been on his Secret Service detail, and they love the guy. They say he's very loyal and he's very considerate of them, which is
Okay.
not the side we see.
Right. Those 4 years. Well, but then go back to TV time. Celebrity, what was that? Celebrity.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Yeah, that thing. That
Sure.
thing.
So here he wasn't he the celebrity. He was the guy that you would watch for 59 minutes so you could hear him say you're fired because you knew every show ended with you're fired. But it was like in some respects he's the chief jester. He's the ringmaster of the circus. And think about what his reputation was before 2016, before he came down the golden escalator, before he became seriously considered as someone who could be president of the United States. Everybody wanted to buddy up to him. Either they were taking his money or they were standing and basking in the light of his celebrity, and they were using that for however they wanted. And
You mentioned,
he was only too willing to give it to them.
yeah, you mentioned jester. Most court jesters don't become president. How does
Funny
uh,
how it works.
so in Trump's mind, crawl inside there. This song seems to be trying to crawl inside there. Crawl inside Trump's mind, court jester, and now I want to be part of what? Royalty in a different way? What's going on in there?
So before 2016, Trump is definitely one of the elite. He's invited everywhere. Everybody wants to be his friend. Everybody wants to have his picture taken with him. But then all of a sudden, he is seriously a guy that might win this election. And he wins the nomination in a landslide. And then he's the guy that there's no way he's going to win the election, but he wins the election. I mean, this is truly a case of someone who was on the periphery and now he thinks he's part of the elite that gets to make the rules. But that's a pretty tight club.
He not well loved when
Well,
you're.
but no, he's not. He's not well loved now, Trapper. But before 2016, people loved him. They bought
Well,
anything.
I shouldn't say it that way because obviously half the country yay, half the country nay. Very divisive. Going to this different side, a different. So far we've seen the court jester, we've seen the celebrity of celebrities, and we've seen this guy who, while in office, is snarling much of the time.
Right.
Like what's left? What's left to see? And you say maybe it's just the nice guy somehow.
Maybe it's a nice guy. Maybe it's the guy who's considerate that we don't see. Maybe it's the guy who's respectful, as
Okay.
opposed to the caricature or the profile of him now.
All right, that's the first part of the song. It's just that there's something seems to be a reinvention of something's coming up here. All right, and we're just following the music here. We don't know. We're just following the music of where this could go. What's the next part?
So let's go to the next part here. I'm not crazy. I'm just a little impaired. I know right now you don't care, but soon enough you're going to think of me and how I used to be. I'm talking to myself in public as it goes on. But think about that verse that's in there. I'm not crazy. I'm just a little impaired. Soon enough, you're going to think of me about the way I used to be.
Is that celebrity guy?
Is it the celebrity guy? Is it a guy who's maybe more real?
Or is it you're going to think about the guy, the snarling guy that isn't snarling? You're going to think about him. And then what? Maybe because you're going to wonder where he went.
Well,
He's not going to drop He's not going to drop all that.
no, you're going to think about him, but who knows what he does?
Yeah.
I think he actually has a slightly different tone in terms of the way his personality projects now than he did snarling man at the end of 2020.
Because many people talked about how he obviously has been wounded somewhere in life to be that snarling and always, taking the head off somebody. You just didn't dare say anything. But on the other side, it certainly kept the rest of the world at bay. No one stepped in front of him. So
Prototypical,
there's
prototypical New York real estate developer, right? I mean,
that's
this is a guy that if you punch him once, he's going to punch you two or three times to make sure you don't do it again.
hmm just typical,
Right. Right.
prototypical New York.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I
got
mean,
that.
it's no surprise. Think
Okay,
about what it takes to be in his world in New York before 2016.
okay, all right. Next part of the song.
Next part of the song. I'm talking to myself in public, dodging glances on the train. And I know they've all been talking about me. I can hear them whisper, and it makes me think there must be something wrong with me. Out of all the hours thinking, somehow I've lost my mind.
Is that a humble Trump? Is that a guy questioning? Is that a guy?
Could
I
be.
could be. And keep in mind too, lyrics, they're not always exactly as they, as songs
Right.
bubble up to me. It's not word for word and exactly, but maybe he's questioning some things here about himself. All right, last part of the song.
Last part of the song that we're going to look at. I've been talking in my sleep, as we said, pretty soon they'll come get me. Yeah, they're taking me away.
They're coming to get me. They're going to take me away. When I first saw that, I thought cataclysmic, like they're going to do him in,
Well, but
or go ahead.
aren't they doing that?
Yeah,
I mean, he's been what? He's been impeached twice. He's had more. He's certainly been investigated more than anyone I've ever thought of. How many times? How many charges has he been indicted on? Multiple states. It's you can't draw a conclusion that this is not a guy that has a target painted on him.
okay.
It
So it
it,
says
it
coming to
doesn't
take
mean
me away and coming to
it
get
doesn't
me.
mean
I'm sorry.
right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's, I was just going to say, so all the indictments, all this, they want him always reacting. They want the focus on him, not his opponent, obviously. You have a
Yeah.
guy who does he want to be on trial during most of this election season? Is that a plus? Is that just part of the showman? They're coming. It's an acknowledgement. They're coming to get me, and they will take me away.
I don't know. What did they take him away to? What does he get taken away to?
Well, the
Is
only
it
thing, jail, theoretically, prison.
but is it the critics that take him away, or is it the supporters that take him away and put him back in the White House?
Well, the indication seems to be that you know here comes the other side would be the indication to me. That's what it seems to me.
Uh, it,
Um,
it does, but he lives in a world where where all publicity is good publicity.
yeah,
So I mean, for him, look at the mugshot and the use of the
yeah,
mugshot. He made very good use of that mugshot.
right.
Used it to fundraise. Had a great fundraising for it. In essence, it put him front and center on the map. He doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to debate his opponents in order for him to be the main event in the election. He doesn't
Right.
even have to go on the stage. He's already there in their heads.
All right. This feels like a part one. I don't know where this goes, other than I believe this music came from the Holy Spirit to kind of say, okay, what are we supposed to be looking out for? A different side. Okay, look for a different side. You'll be thinking about how I used to be. Look for that. Okay. They're coming to get me and take me away. That's already in motion. That's kind of where it is, I think, right now. But maybe to be continued.
Sure.
This again, these two big hits came during Eucharistic adoration at Port Clare's in front of the Blessed Sacrament, Jesus. And as I'm praying, this is what's coming. That means something to me. That's like don't doubt this to me. I mean, sometimes I'll hear music and what is
And,
it? But in that
and
in that setting,
I think there's a reason why you get that, Trapper, because music has meaning, lyrics have meaning, and I don't think you're off base on this.
yeah, and they can be spiritualized, and this one seems to be. So we'll leave it there. But I appreciate your time, Ed. Until the until the next time, the next song or
Can,
something
can
else
I
happens. Okay,
can I leave you with one more thought about this?
you may.
Just because I'm paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get me.
That's true. That is true. All right, we'll see you next time. This is Men's Morning Lights. I'm Trapper Jack. See you next time.